Hey makeup artists, Karen coming to you here from New York Academy of Makeup. Because of this craziness that we live in, unfortunately, we can't be doing live stuff now at the library, so this is our next best thing. First, before you do anything else, of course, if you have soap and water, that's the best thing. If you don't, make sure you have wipes, and you can just use the wipe to make sure your hands are nice and clean. Then we're going to use hand sanitizer so that when I'm working on Madeline, she doesn't have to worry about anything on my hands. And lastly, I'm going to put my mask back on so that I can actually work with it because I'm going to be so close. Your kit has the 3 primary colors of makeup. And the reason for that is that from these 3 varied colors, you can create any color in the spectrum. Adding black and white will also change then the shade of the color. So because we're doing a mermaid today, and this is the wig that I'm working with, got purple and teal and blue and pink. So what I think I'm gonna do is try to mix the red and the blue, because that's going to give me a violet. Alright, so I have a little bit of color on my sponge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by going around the outside of her face. Because what we're going to do is we're going to get lighter as we go inside, or we can even change color. Just gonna go out all the way around the outside of her face. And it goes on nice and smoothly. And wrap it. Okay, I'm just gonna spin it around. Okay. I'm gonna work some more over here. If the ears are going to show, then you're going to want to make sure you get the ears, and underneath just a little bit. Yeah, it's water-based, so it's really nice to work with. You can work with a lot of different kinds of materials. There's also like creams that you can work with. They're much heavier, so it's a little different. So now we're going to think about contouring, and I'm going to put the purple where I would generally put contour for like a regular beauty makeup. I'm dabbing it because if you spread it too thin, you're gonna lose the color. And then I'm gonna kind of go in here from the top of the ear, coming down the cheekbone. Now, as professional makeup artists, we use a lot of sponges. Sponges work better on thicker kinds of makeup than brushes. So that's kind of why we, use them, because we're usually using creams or thick makeups, not the same kind you would use to wear out every day. But if you're doing like a liquid foundation, brushes are fine. I really like to fade it into a much lighter tone towards the center of the face, because then what we're going to do is we're going to go in with some details, and we're going to change that up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to turn you back a little bit. Alright, so this is where we're up to. I kind of got most of the large areas done. And I'm just going to smooth that out a little bit. I'm just coming right down the nose, really easy peasy, to add some depth. Okay, so now I'm using this purple as my shadow color. And then I'm just gonna blend it out. I'm gonna add some down around the jawline. You can either bring in your powders. Cream makeups will give you a little bit more detail than the water-based, but the water-based is good for your large areas. This is a flash palette. You can get it from Amazon. It's pretty easy to come by. And what you're going to do is you're going to take a stick and you're going to take out the colors that you want. I'm going to take out this really dark blue, and I'm going to work with it right off of the stick. You never want to put a brush into your palette that's going to touch someone's face because you want to keep it sanitary. So now I'll just work from here, and that way my palette stays nice and clean. All right, so you can see how the cream works on the surface, and it also blends in really nicely. And you can still use your sponge. Now we're just building up the darks right now. All right. Okay, now I'm going to make her beautiful brows really too. And I want to bring some of the teal colors into this whole look so that it kind of goes with the wig that we're using. So I'm going to start with the lightest color first, and then I'm going to build up layers. That gives me the most control whenever you're doing eyeshadow. And I'm going to do it kind of like a glam eye. So it's the same as you would do a beauty eye. All right, so I'm going to actually sweep across the entire eyelid with that light teal color. And you can use your regular eyeshadow brushes for this. Makeup artists, at this point, I actually went in and did a little more detailing around the eye on this side. You want to look straight ahead, the other one. There you go. And you can kind of see what I was feeling was like a little bit of sort of like gills. I didn't want exactly gills, but I kind of wanted some of that feel to it. Because when you're an artist, what you're going to do is you don't have to be so literal. You just want to give the feeling of what it is you're trying to create. So I kind of had some fun over here, and I went down and I kind of embellished this a little bit more. And now I'm going to do the same thing on this side, and you guys can kind of see how I did it. All right, so I've got a metal palette and palette knife right here. You don't need to have these to work. You can simply use a pop stick and a paper plate as your palette. Easy enough. Everybody's got that in the house. Because now I'm going back to this kind of cream makeup, so I want to scoop it out, put it on my palette, and use it from the palette so that I don't infect anything on the palette. So I'm going to basically use the royal blue color here. This white up in here. I'm going to come down, giving us that kind of like a wave shape. And again over here. And I'm gonna go clean my brush off. And I'm gonna
It's
go
nice
with
to have the wipes handy.
dark blue. Adjust anything. Q-tips are your best friend. You can also use them to blend. Alright. So just look at the window. And you can see how we did that kind of like gill lake effect. So I'm going to do that now on her cheekbone over here. And it doesn't have to match, you know, it doesn't have to look exactly like the other side. In nature, things aren't usually perfectly balanced. So I'm going to kind of make that a little sharper. And come down here. Go a little sharper. Or three-dimensional. So I put the highlights where I wanted them. And now I'm just going to blend that out. Close your eyes. Maybe I'll do them on, you know what, I'm changing my mind. I'm not going to do them on your eyelids. I'm actually going to just do it on Madeline's eyebrows instead. I'm going to take a little off. That actually looks pretty cool. Hang on, I got more. Okay, but you can, and I'll just show you real quick, close your eye, that you can put the glitter actually over the powder that you've already done. Yeah, I did powder earlier. Oh, transparent.
You know me.
So you could put it over cream, powder, whatever. A lot of the times if you're using cream, it's going to stick right to the cream anyway, but if you need a little extra help, the Vaseline is always good. And now, all we have left to do is do the wig and the final accoutrements. And you always want to have as many props as you can to finish off your look. I was saving the lip for last because it can be very cool. I'm using this bright pink color to give it a little pop, and because I really love this color. I think that looks pretty good. You can also add, if you had a glitter color that you wanted to put over that, you can do that. They have so many cool glitters now. Go to Michael's, I mean, they have like iridescent ones and all kinds of things. And you could put it like to her highlights on her cheekbones, you could put it on her lips, or, you know, wherever you think would be good. So it's all up to you. You're the creative one. So thanks for watching. Come back to the library. We have plenty more. I hope you learned something today or just had some fun. And we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye. that's really gonna complete it and make it look finished. So the way we do a wig is little pointer fingers, we pull it towards the front of your forehead, and we pull it on down. Wait. I just wanna... All right, so there she is.
Under the sea.
All right, thanks for watching. We hope you learned something. Come back to the library. We have a lot more we can do. What I thought I would do is do a pop of color with a little bit of